From Washington, this is the TVnews.tv for July 20th, 2011. Brought to you by Reyes Entertainment, Hispanic marketing for Hollywood features and TV networks. Visit them at reyesentertainment.com. Hello, I'm Jeff Grimshaw, and we begin with the Murdoch boys' appearance in front of Parliament's News Corp Hacking Gate investigative panel, which featured a pie hit on Rupert and some disquieting behaviors all around. Go Tiger Wife! But to understand Rupert Murdoch's take on all of the hacking gate, all you need to do is watch this simple exchange.
Mr. Murdoch, do you accept that ultimately you are responsible for this whole fiasco?
No.
Well, there it is. Tomorrow, Arthur Sando will be in to outline the PR ramifications of this and more of the News Corp chief's responses. Well, we now welcome to the TVnews.tv, direct from Austin, Texas, Gabriel Reyes, our lead correspondent for our exclusive weekly Hispanic media report. Gabriel, I know you saw my op-ed piece the other day about what I call Emmy Latino TV Skunked Gate, and that's all about Latino TV receiving 0 Emmy nominations. Now, as a voting member of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, what's your take on what I call this obvious cross-culture media snub?
Well, Jeff, I think that the issue here is that the makeup of the Academy is mainly people who work in mainstream English language television. So their mindset is always to be considering what we call mainstream English language television. But it's a changing world, and the demographics of the United States are certainly changing. And Latinos are now the largest, fastest, and youngest demographic in the United States. And we are taking a big place in mainstream culture as it's expressed by La Reina del Sur, a high-class, very well-done telenovela on Telemundo that deserves praise and recognition from English language media because it is consumed by Americans, Latino Americans. And so I think that probably it's an issue of the Academy members recognizing that there's more than just English language television being consumed in the United States.
Okay, let me just run a couple of numbers for you and ask you a quick question. HBO, 104 nominations, CBS 50 nominations, NBC 46 nominations, AMC about 19 nominations, all the spectrum of Latino TV, 0. Is that commensurate with the Latino TV audience?
Oh no, not by a long shot. It's not commensurate at all. And again, it goes back to the what I would say the challenge that is being faced by the Academy, I'd say the voting members of the Academy, and I count myself among them, is being able to take a look at the entire spectrum of what the television offering is in the United States and not be bound by the issue of language, which is less and less important because the largest demographic, Latinos, are overwhelmingly bilingual. We're consuming media in English and in Spanish, and so we need to be considered in both languages, and we need to be all-inclusive. And that goes for us, and it goes for non-Latinos also to consider that there are big numbers of people watching Latino television, some of it in English, by the way, and they should be considered and taken into consideration when these processes are going about.
All right, blunt question. I think I know your answer to this, but I'm compelled to ask it anyway. Is Latino TV, and more specifically, are their hallmark presentations like La Reina del Sur, are they so inferior that they merit no consideration?
Actually, I'm glad that you asked that because traditionally that has been the joke with not just sort of like in the English language culture, but certainly among many of us English language, I would say, American Latinos that have grown up watching American television, and we're used to sort of making fun of Spanish language television or television that comes from Latin America as being of low production value. But that's not the case anymore. They've certainly caught up, and Latin America has some of the biggest media companies selling media product globally. So they've really upped their game in terms of production value, and I would say that La Reina del Sur certainly showed that it had top-notch production value as well as performances, and it deserved to be, among, the top television series. And so it is not the case anymore that Spanish language or Latino television is technically or production-wise inferior.
Very good. How does that apply to news? The news Emmys just came out. The nomination count, 185 nominations for U.S. News television outlets, Latino, 0.
Again, it's and this is a point where it probably stings a little bit, because I would say that one place where Spanish language specifically television, does a very good job is in the news department. They really they have excellent national newscasts as well as news magazines, and they cover topics of interest to Latinos very in depth. They're really the only ones. If you want to find out what's going on with the immigration debate, you should turn into Spanish language television, because they're really the only ones who are talking honestly about it. I don't see any honest debate on immigration going on within mainstream television. And so I think the news in Spanish language is really very, very excellent. Another point I want to make is that there are a number of English language cable networks that are catering specifically to Latinos of the second and third generation that are English preferred. These networks are turning out excellent shows in English with a Latino twist that could be enjoyed by anybody in America. And so this is really the trend. This is where we're going. And I would say, Academy members, open your minds to know and accept the fact that television encompasses an entire universe, not just English language and the four major networks or cable networks, but there's an entire Spanish language and Latino television universe going on that you should really be aware of, because you would really love it.
Well, that's a great message to the Academy. I'm a rabble-rouser. I cry boycott. I cry protest at the Emmys. You cry a reasonable message, which is open up your minds, open up your hearts. It's a big world out there with television. And Gabriel, we thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Saturday, November 12th, the Turner Alumni Group celebration happens at the Hilton Atlanta. All Turner employees, past and present, are invited to join special honored guest Ted Turner, host Bill Tush, plus all of your Turner colleagues and pals for a mega event that's been 3.5 decades in the making. For information and registration, head on over to the Turner Alumni Group celebration page on Facebook.
Hey, did you know that what was the CTAM Summit has now been rebranded as CTAM in New York? Same great people behind it, same awesome lineup of speakers, same great sessions that will improve the way you media market. CTAM in New York begins October 5th, and for more info and to register, you can log on to ctam.com. We would love to spread your message to the entire TV industry via sponsorship right here on the TV News. And we're very proud to welcome the very prestigious Crawford Media Services aboard the TV News. Nice. To get things started, all you have to do is email us at advertise@thetvnews.tv. And that closes out this edition of the TV News. We invite you to stay close to us on Facebook, Twitter, and on LinkedIn, and here are the coordinates. I'm Jeff Grimshaw. We thank you very much for watching, and as always, go out and make it a good day.